There's nothing in the United States like Stuyvesant Town, Peter Cooper Village. You're in the heart of Manhattan, and all of a sudden there are 80 acres, 11,000 apartments, all this open space, trees, kids out playing, and you're sort of like, where am I?
I describe it like no other in New York City. The stores, the shops, the people, the parks, the ice skating rink. I mean, just a great place.
StuyTown, as it's known, was developed in the 1940s primarily to house returning World War II veterans and their families. Born out of a public-private partnership, New York City donated land and issued tax abatements to MetLife to develop the vast area in the center of Manhattan. It became a bastion for middle-class housing and an affordable place to raise a family.
It's a lot more expensive living out of here than it is living in here. I will say that for sure.
In 2006, MetLife sold to an investment group for $5.4 billion. They defaulted on the mortgage in 2010. It was the largest default in the history of U.S. commercial real estate. After a period of uncertainty, Blackstone worked out a deal with the city to purchase the property for $5.3 billion.
And it's a great, great victory for the tenants of StuyTown and Peter Cooper.
This transaction was unlike any other we've done. So we needed the city to be supportive. We needed the elected officials to be supportive. We needed the tenants association. We needed to find an equity partner given the size of the transaction, and we had to negotiate with the seller.
Blackstone agreed to preserve 5,000 affordable units. They agreed to keep the green space, and they agreed to listen on an ongoing basis as issues came up. That made a perfect partnership with the city, and once they had their perfect partnership with the city, that was a perfect partnership opportunity for us.
Fannie Mae was in a very competitive bidding process on the financing here. And in truth be told, it really was a jump ball at the end of the day. We could have easily gone another way. But we had a sense that when things got tough here and that it wouldn't be the easiest deal to go from a handshake to closing, we wanted to make sure we had somebody in our corner who we really trusted.
By having a team focused solely on this transaction, I think ultimately it allowed us to deliver a really creative structure in a real fast turnaround time.
They approached us to finance it. It was very large financing, obviously, $2.7 billion for 11,000 plus units. So we financed it, and everybody seems to be happy.
We came in here trying to be as sensitive as possible. So we had a whole listening tour, a campaign to understand what would work, what doesn't work at Stuyvesant Town, how we could invest money. We brought in a new management team. We've been super responsive.
The openness of management for people to go and talk to them about what their problems are, that's never been before. That's huge. That's huge, it really, really is.
What is it like when I go to some of these properties and see how thrilled all the residents are? I'm really pleased with that. There's such an enormous need for this kind of housing.
For the 30,000 tenants that reside in Peter Cooper Village, Stuyvesant Town, Fannie Mae is the financer of what they call home. For me, that is really what gets me jazzed up.
Clearly in our cities, I think it's one of the challenges of the next decade. How are we going to make sure these cities, as they thrive, don't displace a lot of the people that make these cities great?